Russia up against Ireland in Pool A. It's a pretty quick turnaround for Ireland. They only played Japan on Saturday and they're already back in the thick of things. Russia, after having their two games kind of in quick succession against Japan and Samoa, are back into it after a wee bit of a break. So they played on Tuesday last week, so it's a good rest for the Russian guys. A lot of changes in both these sides to be expected. The Russian guys named an unchanged team for their first two games, so it's good that some of the other squad players get a chance to play a Rugby World Cup game before the tournament ends for them, which is, it's going to be the pool stages. They are, no wins, 2 losses, kind of where they're expected to be, but as their captain said, earning a wee bit of respect on the way. So they are 5th. Ireland are still 2nd in their pool despite that loss to Japan. They got the bonus point. That pool's still very open, so bonus point win is exactly what is needed here, and that's what they'll be targeting, the bookies and whatnot. Everybody's predicting that to happen because it's just a difference in class between these two teams. But I'll put the two teams in the description so you guys can check them out. There are some interesting selections. Ireland have made 11 changes. Again, short turnaround, like I said. And it's a good chance to do a bit of movement around because you're playing against Russia and should be able to beat them with that kind of experimentation. That being said, Johnny Sexton is back. And he's at 10. He's captaining the side, so that's good news for Ireland. Luke McGrath is at 9 up from the bench. I'll get to his backup in a minute. Keith Earls moves from the right wing to the left wing. Andrew Conway is back, and he, from recent times, has been in stellar form, so it's a good chance for him to get some ball in hand. Bundee is back at 12. Chris Farrell, I believe, has some concussion stuff to go through, so they've had not much luck between the two of them. Hopefully Aki can kind of stay fit for this one and get through it unscathed. Garry Ringrose is certainly racking up the minutes, and he's there at 13. Rob Kearney is back at 15. The forwards, Dave Kilcoyne, Niall Scannell, and John Ryan are the front row, so that's all changed from the starting front row of the last game. Tadhg Beirne gets a start, Kleyn gets a game. He was not in the squad for the last one. Rhys Ruddock's at 6. Peter O'Mahony is shifted from 6 to 7. And Jordi Murphy is at 8. So it's a largely changed side, as I said, kind of to be expected. Interestingly, I mean, the bench, you got Cronin and Porter. Tadhg Furlong has moved down to the bench, and Henderson's down to the bench. CJ Stunner's down to the bench, and these guys have been racking up some minutes, so they do need to get a break. Joey Carbery is there as the backup 9, but also apparently to back up the midfield as well if needs be. Jack Carty's there alongside Larmour on the bench as well. So I did read that apparently Joey has played a wee bit of 9 at like under 18s and under 19s level. So whether Luke McGrath is planned to play the 80 and maybe Joey slots in somewhere else, I guess we'll wait and see. But Conor Murray, I didn't read that he's injured. Maybe just being rested. I'll take any further information you guys can find. I just checked before I did this vid. But yeah, interesting selection. I mean, if there's a time for interesting selections, it's probably when you're playing a team which you're expected to beat pretty comfortably. The Russian team, 9 changes from the team that played the first 2 games. It's still Artemyev at 15, and he has got that Russian-Irish connection, so that's kind of going to be special for him to play against Ireland. Davydov is still on the right wing. Galinovskiy comes into the midfield. It's his first game. Galinovskiy's moving, I think, from the wing to 12. 9 and 10 combo is changed. The front row is changed except for Gotosev. He stays at tight head. Garbusov, the veteran, is there in the second row. He moves up from the bench. But yeah, ultimately it's a whole bunch of changes. I think the whole bench is different from it was last time. It's either starting guys move down to the bench for a rest or guys who went in the squad getting a game. And you like the idea that if you're going to go to a World Cup, if you're going to go out in the pool stages, hopefully you get at least that one game so you've got those memories to kind of pass on to your kids or whatever. So yeah, these two teams have played twice before. Once at a World Cup, and I think once in a World Cup qualifier in like 2002 or something. So average score in those 2 games is 49 points to 8. One would expect this one to potentially go even further than that. Rugby forecast, the algorithm has it by 44. If it was only 44, I feel like the Russians would probably, again, hold their heads pretty high against one of the top teams in the world, where Ireland may not be that happy with that. Ireland, the bookies have got a 53-point head start, so that's probably more the direction I will be predicting it or picking it. I mean, the Russians, as I said, have gained a bit of respect in that they haven't been getting like absolutely blown off the park as we expected them to be. But this is still a very tough ask for them. So, yeah, we'll see how this one goes. It should be an interesting game. Hopefully, for both sides, they come through it kind of injury-free. Hopefully, for Ireland, that they can, pile on a few tries, but not so many that the Russians, feel kind of disgraced or whatever. But hopefully, it's kind of a good game played in a good spirit. But, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on this game. How do you think this one's going to go? And I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.